good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, they live here, thank God. I was just earlier thinking, man, did they have to get up and drive an hour here this morning? Thank goodness they live here, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Joining us for Concerned Citizens for New Mexico, of course, Stacy Wolkwitz back with us. Also, did I do the I didn't mean to, Wolkwitz. It's so
you did it right.
Wolkwitz. I always want to put a in there for some reason. I don't know. Also, Tracy De La Rosa, and also Kathy Crossley as well. Good morning, ladies. How's everybody doing today?
How are you?
Doing well, doing great. It's a fair week here. Are you guys going to be out at the fair? I'm guessing at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Concerned Citizens for New Mexico will be out and about. Do you have a booth, or are you just kind of visiting and doing your thing out and about?
We're actually sharing with one of our members, friends, Larry Marker.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
He's running for land commission.
Okay, so you're going to kind of work with him.
Yes.
Is he independent or is he Republican?
Is.
Independent. Okay.
Yeah.
So he out there with that candidate. So I guess probably before we talk about the event on Friday and everything else, let's kind of back up a bit and say, if you're just now hearing about Concerned Citizens for New Mexico, maybe we should probably start there and tell folks a little bit about what Concerned Citizens for New Mexico, what the organization is all about. So let's probably start there.
Okay. Well, it's basically a grassroots community activist group.
Mm-hmm.
And we get together, we inform one another and other people what laws are happening, what kind of actions we can take, how we can reach out, how we can support people who are running for office,
Sure.
or different things like that. It's morphed in the last 3 years. It's changed.
Sure.
New people have come in.
As it grows and asks more, and this is true with any grassroots organization. As more people get involved, as more people are aware of it, it does kind of morph into the will of the group, so to speak. So maybe it gets started because of one particular issue that is something that you want to raise awareness for.
Sure.
And as you're out and about doing that, people saying, yes, I agree with you.
Right.
However, we also need to be concerned about this and this. And so it kind of adds to the mission statement a little bit of what the organization's for.
And I think that's what helps us to grow, is because once we find someone that comes in and let's say their specialty is law, or their specialty is research, we know exactly who to call if an issue comes up and we need something done, because I don't know legal jargon, but I can call someone that sure does, and they can point me in the right direction.
Sure.
So that's really helped us to expand and be
Usually Larry
effective.
Marker.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I truly think that where we're different than political parties is we deal with the issues and try to find solutions. And
Actions.
we're action.
Well, and this is just it. You're a nonpartisan group, which means you're not beholden to the ideologies and policies of Republican Party or Democrat Party.
Yes.
You're just saying, hey, if this is good for New Mexico, this is something we want to support. I don't care if it's a Democrat more agenda thing or a Republican more agenda thing.
Exactly.
Is this better for New Mexico? And now you're not beholding to basically say, well, I want to support this one thing from this side because it's good, but I don't want to support this other stuff they're talking about, and vice versa.
It's the same with candidates. I think we don't look, just because you're a Republican, we're not going to vote for you.
Right.
We've got an independent running because he's trying to do the right thing. We support him. So it's the same with candidates.
Exactly. And let's face it, independent candidates don't have the money, the backing, the power behind them that comes with having a big D or a big R next to your name on a ballot box.
Exactly.
There is a certain wave of stuff that comes with that. Where an independent, they've got to kick and scratch and scream, beg, plead, borrow to get FaceTime, to get their agenda out there.
We have figured out when it comes to campaigning, if you've got boots on the ground, it's better than having money. Yeah. As long as we have a good group of volunteers, we can get that word out.
People
more
in
than
passion
somebody.
beat bucks.
Yeah,
Sweat
every day. Every
it's,
day.
it's a tough race, but it can be beaten.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really, that's what Concerned Citizens is. I mean, you kind of just started at your home as a small thing, and then it just kind of grew from there.
I invited neighbors and friends over, and we used to have 20, 25 people who were really dedicated. We'd meet together and we'd say, we need to go downtown and we'd make up little flyers,
sure.
Cut them at home, take them to downtown Friday event and say, did you realize that they're doing this in the legislature? Did you know this is coming up next? You need to call so-and-so or email or
and that's really
whatever.
Just face it, you're like Concerned Citizens and other similar style organizations that are throughout the state. That's
right.
Usually what it is. It's the one issue, that one thing, and it's like I don't know if it works this way in Santa Fe, but the perspective of us, the citizen, it's like they're trying to slide it under the radar without it getting the public attention and things.
Yes.
And that way say, oh, people don't know about it. They're not going to raise a stink about it. We'll just let it happen and then, ask for forgiveness later or whatever that you want to call that, kind of thing. And I'm sorry, no government entity we all know government operations are slow. But they're slow by design because they want it so that every voice on the table gets to hear or gets to say on it before we make a decision on it. They rather get it slow and right than fast and wrong. And that's just good how good government works. I'm sorry. If it's going fast in things, probably some nefarious stuff's going on there. That's why. Right. And so
I would say COVID was an example
of that. Yes, COVID's a beautiful example of that.
And we were quite active the last 2 years.
And so that's why, Concerned Citizens and organizations like that are important because that's the grassroots campaign to keep the checks and balances. And I'm not going to sit, I don't care what side of the fence you are in this state of New Mexico, the state of New Mexico. This state has never, since almost inception, has never had true checks and balances. Right. It's been run by one side before statehood.
Right.
I say this a couple times, and I'm like, as a guy who kind of digs history and things, you want to know why New Mexico is such a messed up soup sandwich? All you need to do is spend the day in Lincoln, New Mexico, and just read every little sign in the courthouse and the visitor center talking about the Lincoln County Wars and the politics of New Mexico. That is our history, and it went from that to a statehood, and some of the players didn't change. And it's been like this since its inception.
And I think that's why people feel a little bit out of control here and just have kind of given up on politics altogether. They tell us there's nothing we can do. We don't know where to go. We can't talk to anyone because they don't have a voice. But you get a couple people together to call the right people, and they'll start to listen. We figured that out.
Absolutely, You got to unfortunately, squeaky wheel does get the grease sometimes.
It does. And you have to learn to be uncomfortable.
We don't want that to happen, but that's what you got to do to get the job done.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to issues like this, then that's what you got to do. So,
and Mike, that's exactly why we're doing.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to bring it over.
Change Course New Mexico.
This is amazing.
This Friday, you're invited to come on out to the Ruidoso Convention and Civic Center. You have a big event. It is a series of some speakers you may not have heard of and some you've definitely heard of. That'll be out at the convention center this Friday. Of course, the main speaker, well, I think still is the main speaker. Just to make sure, because we've added some and they're kind of a big deal too. But Mike Lindell, of course, you know him as the My Pillow guy. He's been very vocal in talking about people's rights and what the government can and can't do, and he's really himself grassroots gone and done this.
Yeah.
And so he will be in Ruidoso as a
keynote speaker.
The keynote speaker. I'll say one of the headlines, the keynote speaker at. I don't think he's selling pillows and stuff, but you never know. He might have a little.
We told him he was welcome to bring the slippers and the sheets.
It's good stuff. So it's good stuff.
Bring some extra cash. You want to pick up a robe or slippers or some bedding or something, But yeah, come and listen to listen to hear what he speaks, listen to see what he's seeing throughout the country and sharing that type of stuff. But you guys have also locked down some other big name speakers as well too. I'll let you guys open that surprise for folks.
Yeah,
we just got word yesterday.
Number one fan over here.
Well, whenever we got Lindell, they said, "Okay, who would you rather have? Who would be the moon?" And first thing I said, Steve Bannon.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you're gonna go big, go big.
Sure, might as well shoot right to the top.
So we kind of had a tentative maybe. So
pending, we
got the word
3,000 flyers.
That was a lot of. Let me see. And let's face it, he's been in the news a lot. His schedule probably was a bit in flux as well.
We're kind of turning into the FBI's most wanted.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's going to be
and so Bannon yesterday finally came and said he will be in Ruidoso. Not only that, he will be broadcasting the War Room live from
his podcast.
Yeah, they're moving the whole production there. So both shows will be done. I think the first one goes live at 8 a.m. and then in the afternoon it's at 2. They go for 2 hours apiece, so he'll be going all day.
And we have more surprises every hour brings
as Mike Lindell would say, but wait, there's
more. So you've heard of the Gateway Pundit?
Yes.
They are flying in.
Okay, great.
They're going to film. They're going to broadcast live. And then the ladies from Utah.
Oh, the Red Pill ladies from Utah are coming in.
Red Pill, is that like Red Pill hats?
No.
Okay.
Red Pill
like the Matrix.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking pillbox hat.
I know.
I'm thinking that. I'm like, I wasn't thinking Matrix.
There used to be a red hat club thing.
Yeah. I thought maybe it was in that vein. I was like, no.
They just want to be at our
Matrix.
event. They want to support us, and they kind of do the same thing, but in Utah.
Okay, cool.
And so they're flying in all the way from Utah. We have
it's like a combining of grassroots and other regions to come together that are basically, it's like we're not as grassroots as we think we are. We just have, we're just in our own little worlds doing the same thing.
And that's
we're the 85% silent.
You're
majority.
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
The ones that just go and do the thing every day and get punched and prodded and pushed in these directions.
And the purpose of this is to strategize and to network and to put together this precinct strategy that we've figured out here in Roswell and have been successful with. Right. And we want to spread that all over New Mexico to get people involved. You start next door. You start down the street.
Absolutely.
And it's a testimony because a lot of people out there are feeling like, like she said, well, what can we do and all of this? And is anyone else doing anything? I found this lady in California. She's a doctor. I saw her on a podcast, and she runs a grassroots group out there. And she's got it where she has precinct captains, and if there's an issue that they need to take action on, she calls those people.
They're pretty well.
They get the word out, and all of this. But again, they are independent and they're issue based.
Yeah,
they're not party based.
Well, and the world that we live in. we're all seeing it. We all know it. We all are experiencing it right now. And there's a lot of people speaking up for what they believe is right for them.
And finally, yes.
And as it should be. But here's the thing: we're also in a society where there's people that are being vilified for what they think is right, and that's not because it's being twisted and turned and manipulated.
Right.
And let's face it, if you're a person that kind of likes tradition, old values, you like to live your life a certain way, it's being attacked right now. And it's being lumped in with nefarious stuff. And you're like, no, there is a difference between what's going on here and then what I do and vice versa. And so if you want to defend your values, there's only one person at the end of the day that's going to do that, and that is you.
Yes. And that's what we've always thought is, we've got to save ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to empower people to do that. And that's why this is so exciting, because we have the tools, we have the experience. I mean, we were nobody from nowhere, and we decided to step up. And
you have to hear the story, because the three of us, work together here, and we were praying about it. We were like, what do we do next? What does God have for us next? It came like that, and it really was, we feel, God-led.
Oh, very much so.
This lady here breathed it out and said, you know what, why don't we have our own grassroots convention? And then would you look at, how
that
it
was
grew.
2 months ago, I think.
Not even that long ago. We had a month to plan it, like a month to plan it. The Clements really stepped up, and they said, you know what, we dig what you're doing. This is what we talk about.
Sure.
They told Lindell, he goes, this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about all over the U.S.
And no one's getting paid. Like, we're not
making
we're
doing this on
our tickets are $20.
Good deal.
We couldn't pay anybody if we wanted to.
And that's just to cover cost of expenses of the events and everything else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, places like convention centers, they do charge for these events.
That's what we said. We were like, we can't just have them at the bingo hall.
Yeah. For an event like this, you need security. You have to have so much. There's so many working parts,
and they're all volunteers.
Yeah, you can't just say we're in the field behind the woods.
I know.
People are like, do I need to bring protection?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to put in the place that people are like, all right, there's plenty of safe lighting and everything else.
And we're also going to have plenty of New Mexico people, and we are showcasing ordinary people doing extraordinary things, stepping up, joining the fight. What is their story about? What they did, what they faced. And so that it'll empower other people.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like, obviously when you got your Steve Bannons and Mike Lindell speaking, they're now at a different level. However, they especially in Mike Lindell's story, that he's the same. He's no different than half the people sitting in the audience. He's just a guy with a dream that pursued it.
If you've heard his whole story, it's actually amazing.
Absolutely, and so. But what I'm saying is, and then and you can, if you want, list some of the other speakers are going to be there on Friday. But to a person, every one of these are people that were moms, dads, just living their lives, doing their things.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, I'm tired of what's going on around me. I'm tired of what this is doing. I'm going to do my part as a citizen and defend what I think are American values. And
we have Seth Keschel. A lot of people don't know that name. I do from the podcast that I listen to. And he was involved with the audits in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona. So he has a lot of information, and there's a lot of new information, and he's looked at New Mexico very much. So he wants to share that.
Good deal.
But it's not just election integrity.
It is not.
We're starting out with praise and worship, and what are Christians called to do at this time? We have the ranchers over in Alamogordo, and Ben Luna from Lexit. He's doing documentaries on how the ranchers, the oldest ranches in the state, their leases are being revoked. They've been in business for hundreds of years, generational ranchers. They're coming to tell their story.
And that stuff you don't see on the 5 o'clock news.
You don't even know about it.
Yeah.
Larry Marker is doing unprecedented stuff. In 60 years, he's the only one to take legal action on trying to give us autonomy on dealing with abortion and pro-life, like giving communities their own choice
power,
to make their laws.
Sure.
Local power is where we're going to take everything back, I think, and fix everything. And that's really what this is about is, the evidence is great. All the stuff you have to say is great. But what after that?
Yeah, what do we do?
What's next?
And
we want to be really proactive. This isn't a press event. We don't even have the ABC reached out. They wanted to come. We told them no.
I'm sure anytime Steve Bannon's name's entered into the equation, there's probably a pool of reporters that are automatically on that trail.
Already asking.
Lindell's probably at that point too. I'm thinking now too, since now they're like that's more than just the pillow guys.
And that's not what's important to us. What's important is getting New Mexico there in the seats so they can see where to go from here. It's a big state logistically. We can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why we've got to set them up.
Absolutely.
And you're right. We get shut down everywhere. Even in our own town, we were refused to tell the story. And, because they don't agree with our guests that are coming.
And unfortunately,
Facebook does not agree. And,
we live in.
All these places. So we're like, where are we going to advertise this thing?
This is something I want people to remember, that just because someone disagrees with you doesn't make it criminal. And that does go both ways. And at the end of the day, because, there's an amazing smear campaign going on for some of these speakers we're talking about going on here. And but here's the thing. If they were, come here for yourself. Let yourself to determine, because you've heard what other people have told you about these people.
I know.
Go and see them for yourself and see what they have to say for you. And then form your opinion whether you think these are good people or criminals.
And come with an open mind.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you disagree with someone, you get a different perspective when you actually hear what they're all about.
Sure.
And you're like, oh, that's not at all what I thought.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or what I've been told.
That's just it. We all live in a world of we've got our preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Most of them are based off what other people have told us or we've read or seen or whatever.
Exactly.
And so so that we see them and we've got them already vilified or heroified in our head before they've uttered one single sentence to you. Take your preconceived notions, good and bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a dyed-in-the-wool fan of both these, come back off with a little of your fandom and just come and listen.
Right.
And then vice versa. If you're just hating everything these people say, back that off a little bit and just listen to the words, take the feeling and emotion out of it, and see if it makes sense to you.
Right.
And that's all we're asking is give it a fair shake.
And for those that work, don't feel like you're going to miss out just because you can't be there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you can get there at 5, you've still got
3.5 really good solid hours.
It's a come and go event as far as the whole day, but obviously if there's certain speakers or certain events that you want, you're going to have to plot and plan a little bit there.
We're going to put the agenda out.
Okay.
As soon as everybody is nailed down, it's so hard to put this many people
anytime there's anytime there's a political event, these are people that their schedules change at a moment's notice.
Yes. Right.
So locking down some of these people is like trying to catch water with a piece of paper,
We'll have
bumblebees.
We'll have state leaders out there all day. We'll be out there all day. Yeah. We've got volunteers working.
It's not just
it'll be a lot of fun.
Sitting and listening to people talk.
No,
it's
not at all.
A forum. We have a resource room where we've got handouts. People can come and talk to these state leaders on these issues and get connected.
All day.
We've got a room across the hall where we're playing documentaries and films and so on.
It's legitimately a conference rally of information and education.
Yes. Information.
This isn't come in their coolest signs and walk around.
Exactly.
This is let's work. Let's put on our job hats and let's get to work.
And this is not campaigning.
I
know
it's not a candidate
sick and tired
it's
of
learning.
Yes.
It's learning.
Well, as we said at the beginning, this is a nonpartisan organization.
Yes.
Their job is not to tell you who to vote for. Their job is to give you the information and let you make an educated decision on what's best for you and your family.
Research your candidates.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if you want to ask their opinion on their things, they'll be happy to tell you that. But their job is to educate and allow you to think and decide for yourself on what's. And let's be honest. Every person's got a different perspective and a different life.
Right.
And we don't want to tell you why something's better for you when we really don't know why it's better for you because we don't have your experience to do that. So
well, and I have to say this has been what I call like a potluck of people just bringing things to the table because once we put this out there, we had other people say, "Oh, we'll volunteer for this. Oh, we will donate this to you." There is a beautiful hotel that connects to the convention center. They stepped right up and they said, we're going to give you a special rate for anyone who wants to come.
They're almost half price.
Change Course, New Mexico. You can get employee rates on the rooms there. Although they are going
They're filling up
quickly.
Fast. We've still got some VIP spots. Those are going really quick.
We have a meet and greet that night. If people want to pay, that ticket will get you into the whole day event. Plus, it gets you into this meet and greet with Lindell and our speakers that night.
It includes dinner.
All right, so you come hungry?
Yeah.
You know, we're going to feed
we've ordered plenty of food there. So.
And if you've never eaten anything in Ruidoso, every single place you eat, every single food you have in Ruidoso is good. I don't know if it's the Mountain Air or
I
something,
know.
but
Who's
but
the
it's
caterer?
pretty tasty.
Jockey
The
Club.
Jockey
The
Club.
Jockey
Oh,
Club.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so it should be pretty good.
You leave hungry, that's your own fault.
Right?
So, but general admission $20.
Excellent.
We're
For the
keeping
whole day.
for the whole day of
Excellent.
stuff. Come
So
and go.
pay your 20 and
we
come
want
and go
you
as
to
you
come and
please.
see.
And even if you get there at 4 or 5 o'clock, you're going to get your $20
yes.
worth.
Oh,
Plus.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going
We've
to be
had people pay
disappointed.
more than $500 for tickets.
Well,
for
that's
stuff
great.
like this.
Well,
Yeah.
and it is
You know.
all these proceeds go to support and plan the event, and
We're not
and,
making
yeah,
anything.
isn't-
This is paying
like you
for
said, it's all
itself.
volunteer
Yeah.
work.
It
The cost to
So-
bring in some of these speakers, the cost
yes.
to
Yeah.
for the facilities and all that. That's what
Right.
your $20 is covering.
Well,
But
and-
they volunteered.
And the dinners and-
they
yeah.
volunteered
they're
their
not-
speaking fees.
Oh wow!
They
Yeah,
did.
we're not-
Oh wow!
Just
I didn't think
because they
like
believe.
Steve Bannon them and all that. They
Yeah.
are making money
They
to do
normally
this now.
don't.
No,
Oh,
no.
great.
No.
Okay.
They
They
good.
believe in this cause.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I heard at one
See?
of the events, Lindell fed everybody.
Oh, really?
That was there. He went
Hey.
for free
Oh, wow.
and then fed everyone.
Well, we should have
So-
done
Wow.
that before.
I know.
Right?
Before we hired the
save some money on food here. We might bring some rich.
Yeah. So yeah, no
Exactly.
one's getting paid, not even the speakers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So all the money's just going to make sure the
Just
the
getting the
locals get
event
there,
going. Yep.
get paid for their
Exactly.
services.
Yes.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
to hear. Which again
Yeah.
supports the local economy, which is something we
It
always
does.
support when we come to our New Mexico communities and
Yeah.
towns and things like that.
Well, and
So-
they have, so at the hotel, they have set it up where you can get that rate Thursday through Saturday. So
Okay.
that families can come and just make it a retreat.
Sure.
Go to Ruidoso.
Have a
shop
nice
around
dinner
the ski
Thursday
town.
night.
It's
You
a
know,
beautiful setting.
taking
you know.
a concert or
Yes.
a bar or something, or
Yeah, there are
visit
other
one of
things
the
going
live
on.
entertainment downtown,
Sure.
and
Exactly.
and then
Sure.
spend your day there Friday, and then
And we don't
get your
offer
good night rest.
child care, so plan around that. That's
Yeah.
another
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's not.
Kids are not.
That
it's
was
not
just a
really
whole
kids
nother,
event. Yeah.
you know, deal we didn't involve with this. So
Tell you what, take an uncle or someone that doesn't care about that
Yeah.
stuff,
Yep,
and then,
exactly.
then have him
Go to
take all
Fun
the kids to
Trackers.
Fun
Yeah.
Trackers.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to
thinking.
say.
Exactly.
Take them to
Yeah.
Fun Trackers, let them ride the
Yeah.
the go karts and do the
Right,
golfing and the bumper cars and all
Yeah.
that.
Shoot,
They
I
come
may
in and-
volunteer to
That's
take
right.
them.
I know.
Yeah.
If I'm
Right.
gone for a couple hours.
It's like, yeah, Mike don't talk till then. I'm going to go hit the bumper boats. I'll be right back. but please come on out again. It'll be all day. That Friday, this Friday the 7th. Give out that website again to get your tickets, to get the
Right.
discount rate on the rooms if you'd
Okay,
like.
so we have a website and it's CC and the number 4NM.
Okay.
There's a link there. We have our tickets on Eventbrite.
Okay.
And it is called Change Course New Mexico.
Okay.
So you can go to Eventbrite, but we're at the fair with paper tickets.
So if you're out walking
you
about,
can come by
you can get 'em.
little Larry Marker's booth.
Okay.
We've got tickets
In the
there
commercial building,
in the
right?
commercial building.
Very good.
Yes. So
Don't look
yeah.
for Larry Barker, not that TV
Right.
guy.
No,
No.
Larry
Marker.
Larry Marker, no relation. Just have
No relation.
names that rhyme.
Yes.
And if I'm working at Backdraft Barbecue, I will have tickets there.
Excellent.
Oh.
So come hungry there and get. I gotta ask.
Okay.
Has anybody completed the hook and ladder deal at Backdraft? I know the guy on Mamber's Food couldn't do it.
challenge?
Yeah, the challenge.
No,
They have a challenge there where you pretty much eat everything they make, and it's
Oh,
put on a plate. And if you can do it
That's
like,
not a bad deal because the food is good.
yeah, I think if you can do it under an hour, right? It's free.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
But I think it's $100 if you don't, because it's
Oh,
literally
yeah,
everything
it's
they own.
everything.
It's every piece of meat that they put on a brick. And if you can do it, but they had if there's a show called Man vs. Food on the
Yes,
Food Network,
yes.
and this guy goes all over the country doing these food. And so he was in Roswell about a year ago.
Oh, wow.
And
He was.
and Backdraft was the competition feature. And he couldn't complete it. He failed.
Wow.
And,
He did
Wow.
fail.
and he beats a lot of challenges. But I was curious. Since then, has anybody
No.
mastered that challenge?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. All right.
No.
That's
There's
her
been
son.
Yes.
That's her son.
I-
yeah.
In my head, say, yeah, no problem. I know full well I'm not going to do
Oh,
it.
bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
In my head, I'm like, hey, I got. But as soon as I sit there, I'm done ski. My doctor's gonna be mad at me. There's gonna be some reason, but there's some back in my head. I'm like,
Oh, I could do it.
yeah, it's not good. But none of that this Friday. But you can do that today. Come on and
There you go.
do that. Matter of fact, after the parade,
Yeah,
come
that'd be a
walk
good
on
place.
over to Backdraft and maybe.
Well, they're
start
going to have
small
their
on it.
trailer out at out at the fair.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. No, this
I know,
is,
we got...
we got
You talked about food, and I get distracted.
I know.
I'm pretty easily distracted. But another way if you're driving, don't have time to write down all these web addresses and everything.
Yeah.
Go on Facebook and look for Concerned Citizens of New Mexico. For New Mexico, I'm sorry.
The number
Concerned Citizens, the number 4 New Mexico.
Now, it's a private group. You have to ask to join.
But then you can follow it, and then you'll
and
you
we're
can get
all
all the
on
information
Facebook.
there.
Look me up on Facebook, Tracy
Yeah,
De La Rosa.
Tracy,
It's really easy.
Stacy
I can send it
Wolkwitz.
too.
Yeah.
You want to call me? You can call me at 575-420-2353. That's easy to do.
Oh,
Text me.
get
I'll
out
send
there.
you the link. No, we're gonna get people involved. I've had people calling me all week, all over the state. They call me.
Good.
So just Google Lindell Bannon.
Yes.
Change course, New Mexico.
Yeah, and
Riodoso,
you'll see all kinds of flyers on Facebook and the internet promoting the event. But it's this Friday, October 7th.
It is.
All day. Starting
9 a.m.
0900, at 9 a.m. for the non-military folks.
Right.
At the Riodoso, almost at Roswell, Riodoso Convention Center.
Yes.
They've got special room rates through the website if you'd like to spend the weekend or spend a day or two before. And it's Riodoso. So much things to do when you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
I know.
And then, of course, come and listen to these speakers. Maybe you get a chance to meet Mike Lindell or Steve Bannon, and sometimes they'll sit and talk with people, or certainly if
they'll interview people that are in the audience.
Fan of Steve's podcast, stick around. You might end up in the audience, or who knows? Maybe you get to ask a question, or do something as part of it. So.
There are going to be 3 other New Mexico podcasts there as well, like these ladies that have started their own podcasts, and they're going to be doing it live from there.
More grassroots stuff.
It is, yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, is what this is all about. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's we the people.
I know. Yeah.
So come learn
together.
here, and I don't care what your politics are, which way you lean. The leftist of left or the rightist of right, or right up the middle like a half tank of gas, whatever it is you're into. Come and listen, hear the speakers, hear what has to say, and at the end of the day, it's just trying to get information and stuff. Try to cut through all the garbage that is the world we live in today, and this isn't about, well, you said this means you're an agenda for this. It's none of that. No. It's just, here's information, listen to it, present it. It's not this agenda-based stuff. It's just, here's the facts, here's the details. Let's cut through the garbage and let's get down to the issues and the problems.
Solutions.
There are people from all over the state coming that will have their information of what they're doing in their area around the state. And so you can reach out clear from the south up to Albuquerque, up to Santa Fe, and you can network with other people and say, well, what are you guys doing about this up there? Yeah. That's a way to connect us across the state.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people that want to get involved that don't feel like they want to join the party, either party. And but they want to work through these solutions and they want to be involved.
It's when and I think this is a big problem that a lot of good people are facing. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. They're probably thinking, well, shoot, there's some things in this party I agree with, but there are things that are going on that I'm embarrassed by. And let's face it, it's both sides. They probably said that.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't want to have to defend this, but also put up with that.
I know.
And we shouldn't have to.
I know.
And that's the point you guys are making and what this event's all about. So come learn, come see what real, effective, getting the stuff done looks like. And that's what it's.
You don't need an army. You just need like 6 people we get it done with.
Exactly.
Well, look at what 3 ladies have done.
I know.
Exactly.
Right?
And God.
Exactly.
And God.
Yeah.
He a little better.
Give him the credit.
Get some writing credit. We'll give him one of those. But again, folks, if you have any information, give out that website, Stacy, one more time.
Right. So they can go to CC, the number 4NM. There's a link there, and it's called Change Course New Mexico. You can find it on Eventbrite.
Excellent. And of course, if you're on your Facebooks this morning, especially if you're trying to find fair information, look for Concerned Citizens for New Mexico on Facebook. Ask to join the group, and they'll be happy to let you in.
We have an email,
Okay.
changecoursenewmexico@gmail.
At Gmail.
You just spell it all out.
If you need information,
Change
tickets,
Course
questions.
Yes.
And of
All of
course, look for these ladies out at the fair
At
all
Larry
week.
Marker.
At the Larry Marker booth, which
Yep.
is in the
Yep.
commercial building there. And while you're there, might as well talk to Larry.
Exactly. He's fun to talk to.
I think Bigfoot is making an appearance today
yeah.
with Larry Marker sign.
Ah.
So look for him in the parade.
Well, watch out because there's also a dragon that's supposed to be running around the fair. So,
okay.
you know, between
It's going
Bigfoots
to be
and
an
dragons,
interesting day. I
who knows
mean,
what's going to be out
make
there.
it
So,
good.
yeah. But the eating will be good. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you, ladies.
Oh,
we'll see you
thank
here
you.
later
Thank you
this
for
week.
having
And
us.
anytime. We'll see you next time. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
thanks.
All right.